What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Nikon's favorite nerd. Today we are looking at Maketoys Visualizer, which is their take on Reflector. We'll get right into the accessories. He comes with this bit of business here, which is pretty much used for camera mode, but you do have the option of plugging it into the hand and then opening this up here, and you can have a giant rocket launcher nonsense. Cool that they included it, I guess, to have this feature, but it's really heavy. But he does hold it, as you can see, just fine. But it's just kind of ridiculous. I mean, it will fail eventually. You know, it's too heavy. So yeah, there's that. He also comes with these two pieces, which are pretty much just for camera mode, and but we'll get into that, I guess. So they come with 3 additional faces. We'll look at all these faces, and then they come with another kind of straightforward face, and then a super concerned, worried face, and another serious, straightforward face. So you can have them all look identical if you'd like, which I like. I like that feature because I'm not crazy, to be honest with you, about the face sculpts of some of these guys. So I like having the option of having the straightforward face. Now this is on loan to me. Other accessories include 3 guns. So they're all single cast, not a lick of paint on any of them. They do hold them just fine. They plug into the back of the hand, and then you wrap the fingers around them. I had him doing the concerned look, because he has a concerned face. And here, just so you can see, because we know that sometimes they don't hold their weapons well with these toys, but they hold them just fine. And then he comes with this, which is really cool. It's like a it's a camera for your Masterpiece Apollyon or whatever, or Soundwave to hold. Nice paint on the front there. The black, the turquoise is actually, it's beautiful, and then the purple. I wish it was a little smaller. I know that's nitpicky, but I do it. We'll get them out. So, like, if you take Apollyon, there's a good size comparison for you too. So it's 2 birds, and I think that's a really good size. Take his little individual fingers and open them up, and then insert the camera into them. First of all, there's like, I would have liked if they came with like different options for these figures but I don't know. The camera just looks, I guess it doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, but I think it would look even better if it was smaller. Just it would look a little bit more in scale, and it'd be a little bit easier to hold it with one hand. Because like, I don't know. That's just not going to be easy. I guess if you hold the hand out like that. But it is a very cool idea, and it's a nice accessory. I just wish it was a little bit smaller. So the head is on a ball peg, but it's a nicely done ball peg because this bit of business down in here is like an actual sculpt, so it doesn't look like it's just a head sitting on a stick, which is what I don't like about ball peg heads. But articulation's fairly good. Not a whole lot up, but down and around is fine. And then as far as detailing, red paint on the eyes, and the rest is just purple plastic and white plastic. All the purple here. The torso is green translucent over top of the white plastic detailings in there. It looks really good. This is a repro label that he put on there. White plastic there. A little green got out of control there. Oh, maybe, oh, you know what? It's probably a turquoise plastic that the white is painted on top of, and that's why. Yeah. So this is all turquoise piece here. This green, or turquoise, this green, and then they painted the white on top, and they just they got some chips right there. So that's what happened. As far as the waist, not a lick of paint anywhere in there. You do get a bit of a waist swivel, not a ton, but, and this is the guy with this fold-up thing in here. They're all a little different in that regard, but enough where it makes kind of anatomical sense. I'm okay with it. It's limited, but it's there. Shoulders are on a ball joint, as you can see right there, and then this piece kind of swivels around it, and then you get your hinge out of the ball joint there, which is a pretty smart use of a ball joint, I must say. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, gets you way past 90 degrees, and a wrist swivel, and then the fingers are all articulated on a single pin, which you know is my preference. Red paint on the forearm, nice and sharp, but not a lick of paint anywhere else. Same on the other side. We can undo this gun. And the hips are on universals. They're just frictions universals, which works just fine. Sometimes ratchets aren't bad choices, but sometimes you don't need them. Sometimes a nice tolerance universal joint works just well. But they work fine. You get you can manipulate it and get a little bit more out of it, but you get a fairly good range of motion out to the side. The whole pelvis piece moves, which is my preference for that kind of stuff, and that, you know, is pretty optimal there. Out to the back, and then double jointed knees. You kind of got to work them to get the full range, but definitely get you 90 degrees. And it should be noted that it is double jointed because that's for a number of reasons, but you only use the single joint to get the full 90 degrees. When you use the double joint, it looks better, and you almost get 90. You're just shy, but it looks better, and I think it would get you anything you really want for posing, but just pointing it out. Not a lick of paint on the thighs, not a lick of paint on the pelvis, not a lick of paint on the back, which cleans up very well, especially given exactly what's all underneath there, but we'll get to that in a bit. Thigh swivels built in right at the bottom of the universal joint. We got white paint and red paint here, which is done fairly well. And that's all the paint that we have on the calves. Oh, no, we got a red stripe here on the back, which is sharp. And then as far as ankles, they're on a ball peg. The ball joint sits down into the foot like Cupola or whatever his name is. And you kind of got to pull it out a little bit, and then you get your full rocker and a little bit of a tilt. And you know, for me, a rocker is much more important than a tilt, so I'm okay with that. Same on the other side. You pull it down a little bit, and then you got your full rocker. This fella and him are very similar. The difference is this piece on the back, but it doesn't really change anything articulation-wise. It's still a fairly limited waist swivel, and everything else is pretty much the same, except for how it transforms. This guy is the bigger difference. You got this piece sculpted on there, which looks nice, and then you got these white pieces of, I'm thinking those are different plastic. That white is also painted on there and looks okay. It looks a little fuzzy, but it's okay. And it's fine. And then this bit of business here in the back, which looks pretty good. But articulation-wise, in terms of, it's even better. Still slightly hindered, but even better. So this one will get you anything you need. The other two are good enough. And we'll work on him. So arms down, fists out, and then collapse. Now, a lot of this stuff tabs together at the end, and you really got to make sure that everything is lined up the best you can. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Open up these panels here on the back, and then this piece disconnects. The first time I did it, it was extremely difficult. It's now easier. Fold these out here. Pull this, get this arm. There's some clearance type of issue you can run into, but get that out of the way. And bring the head around to reveal the push button, and fold these in. Then you bring these back around and close them up. Right. Or no, spin it. Yeah, spin it and then close up. And they tab in, but you got to make sure all this is lined up. I don't know. I think it tabs in, but I'm not going to fight with it too much. So we'll just leave it alone. had to cut because I had some problems lining it up the first time, so we're just going to run it again. I think I learned the trick to it, but we'll see. There's a lot of panels needed to get tabbed in, so we'll see. For the legs, you want to open up all these panels here. And there's some clearance issues as well. Like, it works, you just have to be mindful. You really have to do it the right way. Not a lot of room for margin for error. So, open up all these panels here. Fold this one first. And just kind of square it up the best you can. Open up this panel here. Tab these two tabs and then that, and then you're looking at 1, 2, 3 there. So just do the best you can. The problem is here is that these panels here have nothing really to push up against, so you kind of just have to force it in, and it doesn't have that feel good kind of vibe to it. But there she is. She's good to go. Fold that down, and you can fold that over here. I think you can do that now and plug that in, and that's one side done. For the other side, it's more challenging because of this piece here, so you just kind of got to work your way around her. Bring that down as you come, so to speak. All right, now there and there. This has got to get up in there. Fold this piece around. All that tabs in there. Good to go. Fold that piece around. Plug it in. These two pieces come down. And plug in. And there's a problem because like a lot of this tabs into stuff that doesn't give you the kind of the force behind it to plug it in properly, but that's it right there, and that's good to go. So the second guy is pretty much the same as the first, except he has this extra bit attached here. This hinge here is a little loose, just pointing it out. Not a big deal, but it is loose. It's not tolerance very well. But and then we'll show how that all connects at the end, but there's no sense in just showing the same transformation twice. Lastly, this fella, who will give you a lot more grief. So, what you want to do is untab these hands. I guess this guy can get you a bit of a wrist tilt if you're cheating that way. Remember, fingers to forearm. And then collapse. Same on the other side. Fingers to forearm. And collapse. The head you got to turn to the side. And then pull this black piece out here. Rotate. Cover up the head with the white bit. Untab this front piece, untab the shoulders, and rotate this whole piece around. There you go. And then you bring the shoulders around. That goes in there, and then this piece flips back down maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. The next part is the part that'll give you a ton of grief, and we're going to look at that a little closer in detail. Oh, you know what? This piece rocks up. I'm not sure why. It's on a double hinge, but it rocks up. There's a lot of clearance, close calls kind of on this fella, so it might be partially related to that. Okay, now this gave me a ton of grief. So, rotate the hips 180. Now, fold this in, get that out of the way. We'll bring it back out later. Fold these two pieces down here on the bottom of the feet. Now, these two slots have to be filled by these two tabs. It looks like the fists are supposed to go into there. Pay it no mind. This ate me alive, ate me for breakfast. I actually got the answer to this by watching John Garinger, who's a good, decent dude, because I was struggling with it so much and couldn't get it. So he has this method that seems to work fairly well. Fold the arm out to about 45 degrees, and then fold the leg out to about 45 degrees. Then this angle here is kind of paramount. And as you fold it up at the angle, guide this tab in here first, and then close it over the top tab. And I can tell you that that is infinitely easier than any other method you may have heard of. Shout out to that dude for that, because this isn't mine, so I can't throw this one against the wall. Same on the other side. Bring it up. As you do so, guide the bottom tab in, close the top tab around it. Make sure your leg angle is good. Bring them around. Tab them in. It's still, there it is. Good night. Not my favorite thing in the world. Okay, so then you got to untab this piece, which is not the easiest either. Bring that down, plug it back into the pelvis, fold this down. So make sure that this is squared up here. This is going to sit like this. Wish I could tell you that this is easy as well, but this can also give you, it's right-ish. Alright. Tab these and those, and then down in here, and there's tabs everywhere, so hopefully this is squared up here. This is going to, there. Bring this around, and that plugs in down to the bottom there. That's one. Here we go. Tab in. Tab in, and of course that just came undone. Wrap this one around, tab it in. Good grief. But it's done. Now you have some flair that you can put on. You take this piece here and you plug this in, and you take this piece, slide that in, good to go. I dig it. I wish this was like the G1 where you hit the button and it actually made the click. That would have just made me feel good. I wish there was more paint on this thing, but overall it's pretty spectacular. My only other complaint is you see these two tabs in there on this white bit here. There's no holes for them to go in, and it creates this little gap as far as I can tell. I guess we'll pull this piece out there because this actually tabs. This actually tabs into there. Viewfinder is nice. It's just it's a good looking camera. This irritates me, this here, but outside of that, it's very nice. Good use of a Decepticon there, Mr. Swage. That works like a champ. Yeah, I dig this. There's one other thing you can do. You see that little port in there? I'm not sure if you can see it. And there's this little plug here. You can take this and put it down in there, and then this actually screws in to like a tripod, so you can have it set up like a proper tripod. That's pretty badass. I will definitely give them that. Like a little extra thing that would have been cool is if it had like a really small camera, you know, like a little cheesy camera that you could have actually, you know, you could actually taken a few digital pictures with it. But it's pretty cool. It's definitely Reflector, you know, to a T. The paint, all the panels and everything, the overall presentation of it, pretty well done. Pretty smart. Pretty smart. I love the little, you know, the battery information and all that kind of stuff down there, and very cool. Now you guys know I'm a big comic book fan, even more so than a Transformer fan. I love Transformers as well, but you know, comics are kind of my first love. And if you're a comic book fan, holding a camera like this, it's going to remind you of a certain kind of famous book. Was that the door?
Yeah, it'll be Colleen from across the street. Tonight's our yoga class. Come on, Dad. Company. Put your scrapbooks away.
Hey, look at this one. First time they met. What year was that?
Well, I remember you describing the white face and the green hair to me when I was a kid. Scared the hell out of me.
I thought you'd be interested.
Yeah, well, I had some interesting nightmares.
And there's some Reflector through the years with the G1 and the Perfect Effects set. Definitely the best Reflector available presently. Final thoughts for negatives. The real problem is for me is that in typical Make Toys fashion, it's not a whole lot of fun. The action figure element of these guys is great and is a whole lot of fun, but the actual transformation is not a whole lot of fun. It's a bit grueling. It's frustrating with all the tabs and all the double hinges everywhere. It's just a pain. But that's a preference thing. I don't care for that sort of a transformation. If you like complex transformation, or if you like the challenge of getting things aligned properly, you know, where everything has a place, every place has a thing kind of a situation, then you'll love this, and by all means go for it, because it's not a bad set. It's a really good set. The articulation is there, the sculpts are there. I wish they would have had a few extra faces. I like the smirk from the Fans Toys one. For what they have here, it's still all pretty much good. The paint, where it is applied well. Once again, I wish there was a bit more of it. Maybe some of these finished plastics, if they had the paint baked on, it would have given a much more dynamic feel. But this is Reflector, there's no doubt about it. This is a good option. It's definitely worth the money in my opinion. I'm going to wait for the Fans Toys one personally, but if that's garbage, at least I know I can sell it and buy these and be perfectly happy with the set. So if you were on the fence and you enjoy the Make Toys kind of approach to transformation, I say by all means jump on this bandwagon. It's worth it. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.